Wanda, Black Bolt could destroy you with one whisper from his mouth.
What mouth?
So why do we think the Inhumans might be living on the moon of Earth 616 in the MCU, like we saw in the 2017 Inhuman show? Or could a Black Bolt movie be just what the MCU needs to introduce the Inhumans on Earth 616's moon? Here's what we know about where Black Bolt could show up next in the MCU, and who knows, he might even get his own movie as the King of the Inhumans. Let's dive in. Let's start with a quick intro for those who might not know Black Bolt in the MCU. Black Bolt, or Blackagar Boltingen, is a Marvel character created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, first appearing in Fantastic Four number 45 back in December 1965. He's the ruler of Attilan and a key member of the Inhumans, a secretive group of genetically enhanced superhumans. What sets Black Bolt apart is his voice. His unique power channels energy into a destructive shockwave when he speaks, capable of leveling entire cities. Because of this, he's undergone intense training to control his voice and usually communicates through sign language or a spokesperson to avoid accidentally unleashing his powers. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Black Bolt has been portrayed by Anson Mount, first in the 2017 TV series Inhumans and later in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. The character also reappeared in various Marvel comics over the years, including his solo series in 2017 and the 2021 one-shot Darkhold Black Bolt. Now let's dive into why Marvel Studios has been so keen on blocking Inhumans references. It's no secret that Marvel's 2017 Inhumans TV series was a major flop. The show was criticized for its poor writing and odd character choices, leading to its swift cancellation after just one season. Since then, the Inhumans have been notably absent from MCU discussions. Marvel's effort to distance itself from the Inhuman show is understandable, especially as the MCU's TV shows have since moved to Disney Plus and become more closely tied with the film division. But it turns out the effort to erase the Inhumans from memory is even more intentional and thorough than previously known. According to the recent book MCU: The Reign of Marvel Studios, Marvel Studios has put in place strict guidelines for MCU movies to avoid any association with the failed Inhuman series. For instance, during the development of Eternals, the creators were specifically instructed to avoid setting any scenes in Hawaii because that's where a lot of Inhumans was filmed. The idea was to prevent any accidental reminders of the ill-fated show. Given Marvel's determination to keep the Inhumans out of the spotlight, it's curious that Anson Mount's Black Bolt still made an appearance as a member of the Illuminati in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. However, his inclusion is almost laughable given his fate in the film. Black Bolt's death, like those of the other Illuminati members, is graphic and unsettling. If Marvel Studios really wanted to put the final nail in the Inhumans' coffin, brutally killing off their king, even a variant, might just be their way of saying, "We're done with this chapter." Recently, there's been a shift in focus from Kang to RDJ's Doctor Doom in Avengers Doomsday, and it's got fans buzzing. The new Doctor Doom seems set on wrecking the sacred timeline in the MCU, which could bring a bunch of superheroes from Earth 616 and beyond to stop him in the void. This could set the stage for the Inhumans to make their entrance in Avengers Secret Wars, rumored to take place in the Void, a place that remains even when a universe is destroyed. And who better to lead the Inhumans against Doctor Doom than their king, Black Bolt? Another theory suggests that Black Bolt could pop up in the upcoming MCU X-Men movie, potentially setting up a huge showdown between the X-Men and the Inhumans. If this X-Men film happens in a different universe from Earth 616, it might lay the groundwork for bringing the Inhumans into the main MCU timeline later on. With the Fantastic Four set to debut in the MCU, but from another universe, it's entirely possible that the Inhumans could come from a different universe as well, arriving to challenge the X-Men on Earth 616. The X-Men are definitely on their way to the MCU, though we don't know exactly when. Kevin Feige hinted back in 2019 that we might not see them until 2025, which aligns with Phase 6. We've already seen Patrick Stewart's Professor X in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and Wolverine's return in Deadpool and Wolverine, so seeing more of the X-Men in Phase 6 isn't out of the question. Plus, the MCU has started introducing mutants with Ms. Marvel and Namor in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, making it seem like the X-Men could be just around the corner. On the flip side, there's a chance the Inhumans could be living on the moon of Earth 616 in the MCU. In the comics, their city, Adalan, is often shown as being on the moon's blue area, which has a breathable atmosphere. If the MCU decides to introduce the Inhumans, they could easily say that Adalan is secretly on the moon, hidden from Earth's view. This would explain why the Inhumans haven't been involved in past events on Earth. It's a cool way to bring them into the MCU, fitting well with its tendency to reveal new, exciting layers to the universe. Plus, this lunar connection could tie into other cosmic elements in the MCU, like Moon Knight and future Fantastic Four storylines. If this theory turns out to be true, we could see a fresh start for the Inhumans in the MCU, with a new team that's different from the 2017 Inhumans TV show. Anson Mount's Black Bolt met a grim end in Doctor Strange, so Marvel might be ready for some big changes. This opens up the possibility for Marvel to recast Black Bolt or even introduce a different version of the character from another universe. With the multiverse in play, anything is possible. A new Black Bolt could bring fresh energy to the role and explore new aspects of the character. And it's not just Black Bolt. Marvel could reimagine the entire Inhumans team with new actors and possibly new characters joining the ranks. This could be Marvel's chance to course correct after the 2017 Inhumans TV show didn't quite hit the mark. By placing the Inhumans on the moon of Earth 616, Marvel could introduce them in an epic yet grounded way that ties seamlessly into the larger MCU narrative. Imagine a hidden city on the moon, home to a powerful and enigmatic race that's been keeping an eye on Earth all this time. The potential for crossovers with cosmic or mystical characters like Moon Knight or even the Fantastic Four is huge. While the original Inhuman show might not have been a hit, a rebooted version in the MCU could finally give these characters the spotlight they deserve in an exciting and fresh way. Alternatively, a Black Bolt movie could be just what the MCU needs to properly introduce the Inhumans on the moon. A solo film focused on Black Bolt could explore his origin, his struggle with his devastating powers, and the secretive society of Inhumans. This would not only reintroduce Black Bolt in a significant way, but also set the stage for the Inhumans as a major force in the MCU. With a compelling story and the right cast, a Black Bolt movie could be the perfect vehicle to delve into this fascinating corner of the Marvel Universe and give the Inhumans the attention they deserve. Plus, it would be a great way for the MCU to make up for the less than stellar reception of the 2017 TV show. That said, there's one more upcoming Marvel show where we might just see Black Bolt: Moon Knight. The first season ended with some pretty big implications for the character, who's continuing to serve as the right hand of the Egyptian moon god Khonshu. Even though there hasn't been an official word on a second season yet, it seems almost certain given the success of the first season with both critics and fans. Now, it might seem like a stretch to expect Inhumans to show up in Moon Knight, but there's an intriguing connection here. Mark Spector, along with his various identities, serves the moon god Khonshu, while Black Bolt and the Inhumans have historically been based in a city on the moon's surface called Adalan. Because of this, it's possible that Khonshu could be aware of the Inhumans and might even have had some kind of relationship with them, maybe even offering them a place to stay in his sacred domain. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Given the theories we've discussed, where do you think we might see Black Bolt or the Inhumans next in the MCU? Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below.